國家主席江澤民接見殉職飛行員王偉嘅遺屬。江澤民總理朱鎔基、人大委員長李鵬等多位領導人接見王偉嘅家人同埋佢生前嘅隊友。江澤民仲抱起王偉嘅仔。佢話喺外訪期間一直關注搜救王偉嘅工作。佢話王偉嘅犧牲係值得學習，係人民嘅光榮。江澤民又話，軍機碰撞事件係美國多年嚟喺中國沿海空域進行偵察活動。中國喺涉及國家主權同埋尊嚴嘅問題上唔會讓步。日本共同社引述政府官員話，日本決定有條件發簽證俾台灣嘅前總統李登輝到日本就醫。日本官方仲未證實呢一項報導。首相森喜朗嘅發言人就話，首相同外相會喺今晚再協商。卓其君報導。
日本傳媒較早時報導，日本透過駐台北嘅交流協會辦事處，要求李登輝答應喺日本期間只會留喺江山縣倉敷市嘅醫院接受治療，同唔會從事政治活動。
She went further, paying a mild tribute to China's leaders for preserving Hong Kong's autonomy. This despite a public dressing down Chan received in Beijing last year, in effect asking her to better support Tung Chee-hwa.
Doubts held before the transition have lingered too long among some observers, both locally and internationally, who have not given the Chinese leadership sufficient credit for the light touch they have shown.
An example being recent comments by Chinese President Jiang Zemin saying Hong Kong should decide for itself how to deal with the Falun Gong.
Given the sensitive nature of this issue to Beijing, can we really ask for more?
Only 11 days remain for Anson Chan after just under 39 years in the civil service. The future? In today's speech, she used vague words like quiet retirement and standing up for the people of Hong Kong. How she reconciles these public and private callings, time will tell. James Pomfret, TVB News.
Robbers have made off today. Some great pictures, but unfortunately all 5 Hong Kong representatives in the 9th National Wushu Sanda tournament crashed out in the first rounds. Wang Dinghong got knocked out by his opponent, Xiao Chuanggong of Liaoning Province. Fighters winning the best of 3 advanced in the tournament, and each of these matches lasted 2 minutes. NBA basketball and Chinese star and fanfare.
The law was overhauled to forbid men from marrying before the age of 22 and women before 20. In 1995, the National People's Congress agreed to change the law again. Public consultations on a draft amendment ended only this February, and it's expected to go before the NPC Standing Committee mid-year.
With the economic and political development, constitutional amendments are necessary to keep things going in the right direction because people's thinking are different. Last time, the marriage law was revised in the 80s. So in the space of 20 years, I think it's timely to have the marriage law revised for the second time.
It's not policymakers suddenly deciding to revise the marriage law. It's the masses asking for a revision. The Women's Federation did a survey recently and found 90% of respondents wanted the marriage law revised.
The proposed amendments have not only aroused concern among the millions of households on the mainland, but also Hong Kong families, due to the prevalence of local husbands taking mistresses across the border. That's because the proposed changes tackle that problem as well. Chapter 5, Article 46 states if one party commits bigamy or cohabits with someone else out of wedlock and not in the name of husband and wife, leading to a divorce, the innocent party can claim compensation for damages. This is an unprecedented provision in mainland law for civil compensation in cases involving mistresses. Also, Article 45 reiterates that bigamy constitutes a crime, and a victim can file a lawsuit by way of private prosecution in accordance with criminal litigation law. This is already stated in the mainland's criminal law.
Many people are unaware of it because the marriage law did not mention it. However, in criminal law, de facto marriage has always been considered as bigamy, and it can cover very wide
A married person who lives together with another person of opposite sex and then claim to be husband and wife, and the maximum punishment can be 2 to 3 years imprisonment.
我同你入裏面傾。會唔會過時過節，即係呢啲日子更加難去過啊？或者？
Afong's husband is from Hong Kong. They married more than 10 years ago in their village on the mainland. They had 5 children. 5 years ago, she found out her husband had a mistress in the same village, a woman from Sichuan. Afong says she thought of committing suicide, taking their children with her.
Jump off a building, along with my kids. If you die and leave the kids with someone else, who knows if they'd be abused? Might as well all die together.
In 1997, Fong and the children gained right of abode in Hong Kong. She hoped the family could get a fresh start in the SAR. Instead, the husband is a lawyer in Guangdong province, specializing in broken marriages. She's handled more than 200 divorces. She says the marriage law draft amendments aren't brand new. They are enshrining past experiences in the law courts. Even so, the prospect of tougher controls on keeping mistresses has aroused much debate.
好多次嘅修改咧，就係我覺得係啲利益嘅團體嘅企喺自己嘅立場。
Many amendments are due to interest groups hoping to give themselves more protection and minimize the sanctions. It's normal that there's conflict between many forces. People who take mistresses are usually well off.
They
don't want a law hanging over their heads like a sword. There's much debate on the matter.
Having seen many marriages and divorces, Zhang says many kept women are in it only for the money.
A woman came to me with a slip of paper and told me she wanted to sue the man who wrote it. The man had written he owed her $500,000 as a fee for her youth, and she wanted to sue him. I asked her, "What's a fee for youth?" She said she'd been with him for 2 years and hadn't been paid, so she wants to sue him. She said, "You help me, I'll pay the lawyer fees." This sort of thing is wholly cash for flesh.
Most care about money. Because they're poor, they'll make sacrifices for money. In Hong Kong, keeping an ordinary girl would cost more than $30,000. Here, only $3,000 to $4,000. 9 out of 10 Taiwanese here keep mistresses.
Mr. Lee runs a factory on the mainland and has a girlfriend there. His wife and kids live in Hong Kong. He says many girls come from other provinces to work in Guangdong, making only 400 to 500 yuan a month. They would often take the initiative to get to know Hong Kong people. Also, prices are much lower there, so the temptation is great.
You're much sought after if you're from Hong Kong and have a fixed income in the managerial ranks. Here, girls chase boys. An old saying goes, the barrier for a girl chasing a boy is a piece of paper. For a boy chasing a girl, it's a mountain.
Mr. Lee says he's very worried about amendments to the marriage law. He says he doesn't want to go to jail over having a mistress, so when the law is changed, he says he'll consider jilting his girlfriend.
If they tighten the law, I'd leave my girlfriend immediately. I'm afraid of jail.
葉慧娟報導。
美國國務院發言人包潤石話，證實中國政府喺今個月8號喺深圳拉咗一個美籍華人。
We're also concerned about the detention of another American by the name of Wu Jianming. We were informed of his detention by Guangzhou authorities on April 10th. He was actually detained in the city of Shenzhen on April 8th, and our consular officer visited him in Guangzhou on April 14th. They've informed us that Mr. Wu is being investigated for alleged espionage activities against China on behalf of Taiwan.
中國人權民運信息中心話，吳健民懷疑係因為中國六四真相呢本書而被拘留。中心話，46歲嘅吳健民86年之前曾經係中央黨校教員，後來擔任深圳青年報記者。89年之後，佢寫過一本詳細講述天安門事件、中共高層決策嘅內幕嘅書，交由台灣嘅出版社出版。美國國務院發言人包潤石話，近期先後有幾位美籍華裔學者返回中國時被捕，包括香港城市大學副教授李少文、 同埋被控間諜罪嘅大學研究員高瞻。巴潤石話：美國使館人員同中國官員星期二喺北京會面時，已經向中方表達關注，希望中國當局早日釋放佢哋。另一方面，美國國務院發出通告，提醒美國人同美籍華裔人士，特別係曾經批評中國政府或者同台灣有聯繫嘅華人，唔好到中國大陸，否則可能會有被捕嘅危險。香港嘅美國商會發言人就話：國務院嘅通告只係一般性嘅安全指引，無需過分敏感。商會嘅發言人又話：佢哋嘅會員都認為香港嘅營商環境並冇受到事件影響。有線電視記者葉慧娟報導。
中央政府多位領導人，包括